Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. The Supremes, one of the best bands ever, and they were badass. To this day, I cannot hear a song by the Supremes and not start singing and moving what I lovingly call my booty. You ain't shit! The three amazing black women that formed the group showed that color means nothing. Class, grace, talent, intelligence, and beauty have zero to do with race. And that's why we need to talk about these Supremes, that group of majority white men who for some reason have been leading our nation's highest court since 1789 when Justice Breyer was first confirmed. We have had 115 Supreme Court justices. Of them, 108 were white men. Out of 115, there are more women and black Nazis in Florida than there are minorities on the Supreme Court. The only diversity on the Supreme Court in 240 years is 2 black guys, a Latina woman, 3 white girls, Thurgood Marshall and Clarence Thomas, okay? The notorious RBG. Notorious Sonia Sotomayor, Amy Coney Barrett, Sandra Day O'Connor, and then Antonin Scalia. Antonin, who I just want to point out is Italian and has no melanin. The Supreme Court's record of whitewashing is so bad, they considered an Italian a minority. So we have had less minorities and women on the Supreme Court in the history of America than we had school shootings this week alone. A few presidents have come out on the campaign trail and promoted diversity. LBJ said, we need to nominate a black man. Reagan said, well, we need to nominate a woman. But Reagan was so out of it, then he tried to nominate his wife, Nancy Reagan, to the Supreme Court. Then someone made him take a nap, and we avoided that nightmare. This last week, Joe Biden kept his campaign promise and is going to nominate a black woman to the Supreme Court. Of course, then Ted, later Texas Chili Cruz, came out and said that Biden's pick is an example of affirmative action. To that I say, seriously? Brett Kavanaugh, which is bro-affirmative action. Then I give you any crusty butt plug, which is evangelical Christian affirmative action, or Clarence Thomas, which is conservative black man married to a white woman who sent rednecks to the insurrectionist affirmative action. But what if we just went on qualifications? Our most recent judge appointed, Amy, had only 2 years in private practice, never tried a case, never argued an appeal, never argued before the Supreme Court, and never served as a judge until 2017. This is a Karen affirmative action. Now let's go over this black lady Brandon nominated. She went to Harvard Regular College, and then she went to Harvard Law. She was the head of the Harvard Law Review. She's got 3 years in private practice, 2 years in the U.S. Court of Appeals, and has been a district court judge since 2013. She is qualified, better qualified than any of these other humps that the biggest hump of all humps put on that court. But let's see, why are Republicans mad? What could it possibly be? Look at the pictures. What's different here? The country is 42% non-white. The people that make our laws in the highest court in the land are 96% white, and 60% of them are close to 90 years old. So be clear, if you don't want our highest court in the land to look like America, then leave America. Sweden is low on douchebags. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Court is motherfucking adjourned! God, I'm tired of racism and bullshit. Hey everybody, Christopher Titus, Titus Podcast. Hello with me as always, the lovely Bombshell Ray.
What's up, people?
And the Highlander.
There could be only one.
So, wow, I hit a note. That was nice.
Singing, so.
I want, again, racism is, it's not just prevalent in the country. I guess it's always been prevalent, but it's been underground. Racism really stepped its game up in the last 5 or 6 years.
Only a white person would say it's been underground, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I said that. I tweeted out something last night where I was like I said, America that we all know, I'm lying. I don't know the America. I live in a white man's America.
Yeah.
And as much as I think I'm awake and my eyes are open to what's going on, I have no experience at all of the bullshit that minorities deal with every day.
Like, it's always been like this.
And they're like, fuck are you talking about, Whitey?
Right,
you
right.
cracker.
Oh, welcome to the fucking party, asshole.
Cracker. I know. I get it.
It definitely does feel like it got louder, and made more merch.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
That's it. When we stopped arresting Nazis and just let them buy merch.
Right.
Yeah.
When you can get stuff on Amazon, that's like
the most
can.
crazy.
the Florida.
That you can only get on
swastikas.
That you can only get on Stormfront.
Right.
Yeah, before. Now you can get it on Amazon.
you can.
And get a promo code. I know, we're not joking.
When I was looking for, what was his name in that sketch that we did? Cletus, or what was his name? Your character that sang Trump won?
Oh, Irvin Wilkes Booth.
Irvin Robert E. Lee Wilkes Booth.
Yeah.
I was looking for like some redneck wear, and I was really shocked at what was available on Amazon.
To rednecks, it's not called redneck wear. It's called fashion. I'm pushing it,
Freedom
man.
clothing.
I'm going with it, yeah.
It's like when people buy and produce merch, comedians, it means that you have a level of confidence about what you're saying.
Yeah.
And a lot of comedians, myself included, started doing merch way too early, had way too much confidence. Because you remember seeing the open micers selling merch and just being like, he sucks. But I feel like these people, it just shows that they do have a level of confidence now in...
That it's okay.
Yeah.
Yes, and that maybe some people won't like it, but about 50% will, And I don't know. That was my whole point.
I like
I don't
to
know.
pray that it's not 50%. I like to pray it's like maybe, but it does look like it's in the high 30s. It does look like it's in the high 30s.
When you go to Amazon and they, you look for some redneck thing, some
As we do.
Let's Go Brandon thing. And then there's always you might also like. There happens to be, probably chuck nuts and
The swastika,
there's a swastika, there's a
bikini,
hood,
yeah.
there's there's a whole package. You can
Swastika
bundle
nipple
things.
covers.
You buy the clan package? Do you want to get the clan bundle?
I got the swastika nipple covers, and they do. They really, he loves them.
No, it's weird. It makes me,
it's
I
weird.
feel guilty all the time.
Two hands like this.
I still finish, but I'm guilty.
That's me.
It's not. It's a little off-white now.
That's your life.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ken Highlander. Did you hear what he just said? Hey, this podcast is rated NC-17.
So what happened was so Biden, and I think I have to be honest about Biden. Like any old white man, is a little bit clunky sometimes in his thing. Like he came out and he said during the campaign that he was going to nominate a black woman to the Supreme Court. And by the way, we've never had a black woman on the Supreme Court. It's time.
On.
Yeah, no, he didn't. And he's pulled up in the vet.
Guess what, people?
Black woman on the court. President. So he came out and he said it, and which is fine. Okay, good. Reagan, and people start going, oh, Biden shouldn't have done that. Well, Reagan did it. Reagan did it in his campaign. Reagan said, I'm going to nominate a woman to the Supreme Court. LBJ said, I'm going to nominate a black man. And let's talk about the reality. LBJ was taking the risk at that time in history.
Oh, yeah.
But he did. He came out and said, I'm not, and he Thurgood Marshall, one of the greatest justices of all time. And that's another thing I want to approach. I keep doing this, and I have to stop doing it. Whenever someone goes, like, oh, it's affirmative action in the Supreme Court, I start listing accomplished black people, which is just as fucking racist. Yeah. It's just as racist. Yeah, you shouldn't be. It doesn't matter. We're all the fucking same, you morons. So I apologize for my attempt to be over woke and racist.
I have a different thought about it. I think because being a woman, and I certainly have taken some shit for this stance in the past.
Yeah, but I let you talk a lot. I let you talk a lot.
As you jump right on it.
I don't.
I let you talk. Go ahead.
I will kill
Yes,
both of you.
come on, go ahead,
I will
talk.
shut both of you down. You guys are cute when you're brave. It doesn't ever last. Look at him looking at you for support.
It's a chapel.
There's a lot of kicking going on.
And Gotcha going, are we okay now? No, we're not. We are going to be scolded after this.
I don't like, for example, when women tweet things like, only support female comedian shows. Only look at your local club and only go to women's shows. And I hate that. I can't stand that because that makes me different. That singles me out in a different way.
Right.
Only go to really funny people's shows, but consider women equally as being funny people. That's all. It's just all. I don't want to be in the affirmative action category. Yeah. And so I don't love that Biden came out and said that that's what he was doing, because there are a lot of qualified people. However, the point is that he had to, that he felt a need and there was a vacuum in that he had to say it, that it was something that he was so committed to that he had to say it when he was campaigning because it's never happened before.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it on the campaign trail because other presidents have nominated an oppressed minority at one point, and that's fine. What I think the mistake was once what she should have just done is nominated, said this is who I'm doing it, and they go, oh, she's a black woman. Yeah. She's qualified. Yeah. I mean, if you look at her qualifications, it's insane. Yeah. She makes Amy Coney Barrett like Amy Coney Barrett's a paralegal. Right. It's not even close.
People that are
Kavanaugh makes Kavanaugh look like a drunk bastard.
Like a Brett.
Yeah, like a Brett Kavanaugh. Yeah, basically.
The people that are complaining about it and saying it's affirmative action, it's so funny to me if you compare the front runners' accomplishments to any of them. Yeah. It's like they never get that disparity and how embarrassing it is. The racist people that have called my best friend Mahogany the N-word, and she's a federal probation supervisor who's developed the largest blood drive in North America and spoken twice at the White House about it, and is a sharpshooter with a Glock and teaches all of LA County how to shoot a Glock. And the people that have called her the N-word, you know, have never graduated from high school, never even got their GED, you know, and so that's why it's sad to me that they don't, that it's just hate for hate. But there's no other reason.
Hate for hate's sake, exactly. Yeah. It's not the color of your skin; it's the content of your character. That's why in the new show I say,
"Oh my God, did you just make up that quote? That was amazing."
Yeah, no, I came up with that.
So profound.
No, that's the famous quote. That's not mine, you morons. I know you make it. I do say my quote is in my new show. My new show, Zero Side Effects, is I'm going to judge people from now on their character and their integrity and how they leave a green light. Go!
You definitely do. That's already happened.
Yeah. So,
I channeled you today. We were just.
I'm so sorry.
I've channeled you in several ways today. Actually, I was just telling you before the podcast. I channeled you, and I thought WWCD. I do that a lot. What would Christ do? What would Christopher do? And I came up to a red light and there was like a Mercedes SUV and there was a Prius and I was behind the Prius, and at the very last second I took a hard left and got in the other lane.
And you didn't shoot like this?
Wait. We gotta talk about that. What,
WCD.
Did the Mercedes leave first?
The Prius, to back up your opinion, I noticed also was about 10 feet away from the line at the red light, and I was so far gone that before they started moving, I don't even think that they realized.
Wait, they stopped and
is
there was still 10 feet?
Delay, like a time lapse on their pedals, maybe?
No, they're just stupid. They're
Prius, not stupid.
They are stupid. When it comes to driving.
The cars are you can't say the people
so time delay from the brain to the foot.
Well, they could be smart intellectually, but when it comes to driving and operating a vehicle, they're probably the stupidest people I've ever seen. Look at it, like consistently, Priuses are slower. Don't turn as fast. I went by a guy today, Prius. It was a burgundy Prius, and I'm like, because I'm mad. I'm getting frustrated. I'm like, why am I saying, fucking Prius? I get, and it's funny because I calm down.
I point that out.
Of course. So I pull around the guy. He's doing this. He's driving, and he's doing this. He's looking straight down at us and whatever he's doing. And I'm like, Prius driver. Yeah. People who buy Priuses buy them because they're appliances, not because they like to drive.
What do you call it? A toaster?
It's a toaster on wheels. It's a hotel mini fridge.
Everyone in the family knows your opinion too, and you don't realize, like, even the kids in our family have listened. And my niece is now at 19. She's in the Marine Corps, and you were looking for a car for her, not to buy her, but helping her find a used car. And she said to me before we got to the house to see you, she goes, well, I know there's no way I'm getting a Prius.
Did she want a Prius?
No, but she was just pointing out that she already knew that you were excluding those, and I thought, oh, everyone knows that.
So let me speak on behalf of people that don't drive Teslas. There's a middle ground.
Yes.
There's a middle ground.
True.
I can speak. I drive a hybrid. I guess you could call it that.
Yeah.
And when I hit
almost a Tesla,
I could almost a Prius.
Almost a car.
Almost a car.
Yeah.
I could punch it down to the floor and the car will still be there.
That was my question.
And then it'll go like this.
Backwards?
Right? Backwards.
Slowly.
And then oh God, I'm in reverse. It's been so long.
Yeah.
But when I drove your Tesla and then I have, try to change my driving style, that thing is like, wham. Oh, wow. It's so touchy.
Yeah.
that there are definitely cars that are underpowered and do not have the torque at all.
Right,
Well,
but
that was
Priuses
I was
don't.
asking a
Priuses might be
serious
the-
question. If there was a time lapse when you hit the accelerator.
My car will do it. It's a
Okay.
hybrid, and it for sure.
I rode in my aunt's Prius. She picked me up from the airport once, and it took everything I had to get in it. And we drove, and my aunt drives very quickly and well, and she hauled ass with it. I was like, actually, at one point, I was like, it's not the car.
She does buzz around.
It's not the car. It's the people
That's a general.
that drive the car.
That's a general statement, though.
I just
There's
find
definitely.
it. Do you find it ironic at all that we're doing a podcast on racism and you have now taken an entire group of people in the world and said that because of this one generalization, they are all stupid?
Yeah, if anybody nominates a Prius driver to the Supreme Court, I'm shutting this shit down. I will. You'll see me in front of the court with a placard. This guy's a moron. Yeah, we're never going to get a case. Ever going to get a case done? There's going to be nothing going through.
Hit the gas.
Yeah,
Oh, you don't have it.
Just go.
I apologize on behalf of everyone here at the Titus Podcast.
What you were saying about racism, though, and it's like you said, we know it's all been under the surface forever. It's been, but at least it's in my lifetime anyway, from like 1972 on, it kind of started to. It wasn't as loud as it was today. Like people would go, if there was a Klan rally. People would show up to do it, but now it's not even a Klan rally. Guys aren't even wearing hoods anymore. They're like, "Fuck the hoods!
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go out."
You're wearing. You
I'm
said
a Proud
MAGA
Boy.
hat is the new.
Yeah, MAGA has a new swastika. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's a group in Florida that just actually, we can put the picture up of, they're in a Nazi group. They're all wearing black, red armbands, and they're like this, and they put it out as a photo.
And they were also fit, weren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Oh my
Health
God.
nuts. They're
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
into progressive thoughts
Yeah.
of cutting edge nutrition.
Looked like a
Clearly
beach ball
well
convention,
educated.
man. They were
You could tell by the way they all stood like this. The mouth breathing pose.
But here's the thing: there's a website and it lists all their names, and I'm like, when did Nazis get ballsy enough in America? And by the way, first of all, if you consider yourself to believe the Nazi in 2022 in America, I there's no level of stupid that I can even or loser like the Nazis got their ass handed to them. They believed in eugenics and they believed that they were better, and yet they got proven by the Allies. They got taken out and then you're flying a Confederate flag. The same thing. Those dumbass fucking Southerners got taken out by the Northern Army. What are you talking about? Like how in 2022 are you like, yep, Nazis?
Trump definitely gave them a little extra kick in their step.
And we
a little extra, yeah.
a little
the
goose
arm
step.
went up a little higher.
Little goose step in
Yeah.
their step.
Can you bring up Ketanji Jackson though? Because she's like say black, white, anybody, whatever. If this was an alien and this was her legal background, you'd be like, she should be on the Supreme Court. You know, it doesn't even matter. And that Ted Cruz has come out affirmative action. What did he say? He said, black women are 6% of the population.
I couldn't believe he said
Black women are
that.
6%.
Oh, so
He goes,
they should have no representation in the Supreme Court?
So he goes, so Biden excluded 94% of the American population.
Holy shit.
No. There's a bunch of the other percentages that
Yeah,
really
what about
one
the
or
other
two.
one? Right. Number, fractions, asshole.
Yeah, we didn't hear black woman and go, we don't want that. That's nuts. That's insane. That's crazy.
Yeah, but it's Ted Cruz.
Oh, right.
True, yeah.
Ted Cruz, I think Ted Cruz, I wish we as adults, we could all go to like a middle school. And just
She
as it does, because I would just be slamming Ted Cruz against lockers all day long.
She is actually.
And I'm not a bully, but you'd be like that guy.
Yeah, he needs to.
You know, I'd only slam against lockers because he'd be slamming everybody else. I'm like, no. I was
She's
always
one
that
day
guy.
older than my sister, actually. She's 51. American attorney and jurist. She serves as a circuit judge on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit, which is that's a huge,
since
prestigious
2013.
deal. She was a district judge on the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia. Yeah, she had to actually testify last week because of some of the Trump cases, the decisions. She attended Harvard University for college and law school.
Elite.
She was the editor of the Harvard Law Review. She began her legal career with 3 different clerkships, including one with U.S. Supreme Court Associate Justice Breyer. So she clerked for Breyer.
So you're saying that for all these last 20 years of her life, her entire life, it was all affirmative action? That's what you're saying?
Affirmative.
I did not say that.
Keep going.
I said
Keep going. She's a badass. She's a flat out badass. I read this yesterday and I was like, Really?
But
Like,
minorities have to have doubly, triply
That's what I'm
the
saying.
credentials that a fucking dumbass white person has to have.
Brett Kavanaugh's a perfect
She
example.
worked in private legal practice initially. She
years.
then was assistant special counsel to the United States Sentencing Commission.
Yep.
She was
Which
an
is a big deal.
assistant federal public defender in Washington, D.C. So she's public defender is
Both sides
what
of it,
an
yep.
awesome background
Yep.
to be on the Supreme Court. She was an appellate litigator at a firm in D.C. It goes on and on. I mean, it just goes on and on. She was confirmed to head the U.S. Sentencing Commission.
Now go to Brett Kavanaugh.
Unanimous consent.
No, now go to. So we
Bagger at Ralph's.
We've established that Ketanji Jackson is a badass. Let's go see what Kavanaugh.
With all due
I
respect.
just want to see. I don't even know. I looked up Amy Coney Barrett, who basically has
Amy Coney Barrett
not a whole lot of
spent
stuff
2
going on.
years as a judicial law clerk immediately out of law school.
right.
That was 2 years. One of them was Antonin Scalia.
Right.
She then practiced law for 3 years at a boutique law firm for litigation.
Civil litigation, not criminal. Store clerk. Right.
Then she was a visiting associate professor at George Washington University Law School.
That's
Never
just
tried
one
a-
lecture
So she
where you-
never tried a case. She's never tried a case. She's
And
never,
then she went to Notre Dame and taught different classes there.
law classes or just classes?
Yeah, so she
liberal
didn't
arts.
practice a lot. She really went into teaching. She taught federal courts class, evidence class, constitutional law class, and statutory
Can
interpretation.
I say something? This is the phrase.
These are good. I mean, these are.
No.
It's not
You've
a
taught.
lot
No.
of. You mean specifically when people try a profession and they suck at it, so then they decide to try and
I don't
teach
mean
it?
teachers suck.
Because you
Teachers
really
are
have
awesome.
a thing with comedy teachers.
Teachers
and
are
stuff.
awesome. Teachers are awesome. Acting coaches too. Every time I had an acting coach, man, I would go in and I go, "What have you done?" Well, I went to college and then I came out. So you never were on or in anything? No.
Yeah,
So here's what I want
Al
you to do.
Pacino never taught an acting class.
Exactly. Yeah, De Niro never taught acting. Yeah, and so I find it. I wasn't saying teachers. Amy Coney Barrett was an attorney. She wanted to be an attorney. She became a teacher because she wasn't a good attorney.
You just have a thing for her. You don't like her.
No, she. You know why? Because everything that the reason she's on the Supreme Court right now is because of a lie. Because we had Obama wanted to put Merrick Garland on the Supreme Court, which would have been a better place for him within a year of him doing it. And Mitch McConnell said, you cannot nominate someone to the Supreme Court within a year of your presidency.
Yep.
And he put her up 6 weeks before Trump's presidency was over. It's bullshit. She shouldn't be there. She shouldn't be there based on Republican ideas and where they hit the black guy. I keep asking this to people. I wrote something last night on Twitter because I was just really mad. I'm really mad that Merrick Garland and the Biden administration is not doing their job. We have flat out evidence. We saw him commit crimes on television. We saw the insurrection. We now have like stacks of documents that says he tried. Dude, did you see last night? I don't know if you're keeping up with it, but he was keeping people. You need to know this. Trump drafted 2 different letters, or his administration, to send the Department of Defense in to commandeer voting machines.
We talked about this
2
a
of
little
them
bit
now.
last
And
week.
then Flynn, we just found out
how
Flynn,
insane it is that he was going to use the United States military.
right? And then it was Flynn's idea, and then Flynn was gonna have another election. Oh, what the fuck? Like, I can't even fathom that. And no one, and this guy's still walking around holding rallies talking about more treason. Like, and by the way, it's like a little kid. You little kids, you always say, well, they'll do anything you let them get away with. Same with Yorkies. Yorkies will keep going until you stop them.
No, there's no until. They just keep going.
That is true.
Yorkies
The
just
Yorkies
never
don't care.
learn.
They just look at you,
Stubborn.
they blink, and then they go,
And then you're like, oh,
Oh,
boogie,
you're so
woogie,
cute, you
boogie,
boogie
bye. And then they go pee on the same place again.
So, but Trump, he's that guy. He's never. I learned my lesson. I'm going to stop. He's
Right.
like, I got away with that. Fuck that. I'm going to do this now. I'm
gonna do it
Oh
10
wait, I got
times.
away with that. I'm
Yep.
doing it further. Oh,
Yep.
let's go further. Why they didn't stop me? And that's what's happening right now. He continues.
It's insane. Somebody said last night on one of the talking heads said him writing that statement where he admitted to trying to, he says, overturn the election. And him saying he would pardon all these January 6 people, he's telling you flat out
I did it.
that he learned nothing from it. And if given the chance, he's going to do it again and worse.
Can you bring that statement up? I'd love to read it.
Well, the committee is still, things are still coming out, right? So
Yeah, but
it's a slow moving.
No. But here's the thing: if you and I had the evidence against us for sedition and treason that they have right now, there'd be people at our doors going, "You're under arrest for blah 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 blah." But because it's an ex-president, they're like, "We don't know what to do." And I think Biden's scared. I think they're like, "Well, if we arrest Trump, then we just look like Putin." No, he actually committed a crime.
They're not wading through the nuance of presidential immunity kind of bullshit.
Actually,
there's no nuance in hang Mike Pence. There's no nuance
in go and fight. One of the things that came out yesterday was that John Eastman, his attorney, the day before the certification, told Pence to do it. He needed to overturn it and use these fake electors. And then, because Pence's chief of staff had testified for like 9 hours or whatever.
Yeah. By the way, here's some bad news for the Trump administration. Pence's chief of staff, the guy who was Pence's and his lawyer or whatever, right? The guy who was next, his second in command.
Yeah.
With the smaller noose.
Hang that guy too. We don't know his name. So hang my Pence and that guy next to him.
Then the other guy.
We don't know his name.
But
9 hours. Testified for 9 hours.
During the insurrection and after Ashley Babbitt was killed, John Eastman, Trump's attorney, sent an email to that guy and said, "I told you he should have done this." And it's like...
He still has a chance. He's actually said he still has a chance. Before they took the vote?
No concern whatsoever of what was happening. It was sent... The timestamp was during the insurrection. Cops, everything.
It was after they were leaving.
Russian hack.
Yeah.
No, Russian hack.
So here's what happened. So yes, but people let me be clear what happened. They sent him before the vote. Pence, you can overturn the election. Then the insurrection happened. People got killed. They attacked the Capitol. Then they started to go home. And between them going home and them taking the vote to certify the election, he sent another email going, "Hey, man, you can still do this.
Come on, there's still time,
come on,
buddy.
we got TikTok."
Hey, it's still time.
If the vice president had absolutely no right to change the presidential election results, his statement that you wanted.
Oh, this is the statement that Trump just put out. Go ahead. You have to establish.
You said to read it.
I know, but you have to say
I
what it
kept
is.
Going. And then when I got a chance.
Sorry.
If the vice president had absolutely no right to change the presidential election results in the Senate, despite fraud and many other irregularities, how come the Democrats and rhino Republicans like wacky Susan Collins are desperately trying to pass legislation that will not allow the vice president to change the results of the election? Trump asked in his statement, referring to the Electoral College Act. Actually, what they are saying is that Mike Pence did have the right to change the outcome, and they now want to take that right away. Unfortunately, he did not exercise that power. He could have overturned the election! ! Overturned.
Say it, say it with the exclamation point.
He could have overturned the election.
Can we stop calling anything that Trump says a statement?
But let's break it down? Read me the first sentence.
If the vice president had absolutely no right to change the presidential election results in the Senate,
which they don't,
him and run on sentences, despite fraud and many other irregularities, how come the Democrats and rhino Republicans, like wacky Susan Collins, are desperately trying to pass legislation that will not allow the vice president to change the results of the election?
That's one sentence?
Yes.
Oh, I thought, okay.
And the word wacky is in it.
Fraud and other irregularities, 0. No one. They counted Arizona 4 times. And they had the cyber
They
ninjas
found more
come in.
votes for
They
Biden.
found more votes for Biden. Same with Wisconsin. Same with every state that was counted. Like Pennsylvania was counted 3 times. Georgia was counted 3 times. There is no irregularities. Keep going. I want to hear the rest of it. So there's no irregularities. He's lying.
Actually, what they are saying is that Mike Pence did have the right to change the outcome, and they now want to take that right away. That's not a bad run-on sentence.
Okay, stop. So that is not true, because in the Constitution it says the only thing the vice president can do is certify the election. He just that's the only thing he can do. He cannot change it. He cannot change the outcome.
The point being that
Just
we have a law in place We have the Electoral College Act, 1887 statute governing how electoral college votes are counted. But we never anticipated, or they never anticipated this guy here in America, where people escaped oppression and leaders like this. And so now it's like they just want to really nail it down and write it maybe in some more modern terminology for dumbasses like him who can't read or write.
Some words maybe from the 1900s
Yes.
instead of the
Yes.
1800s.
Sure.
Periods.
If we get up to the 1950s, I'd be fine.
Final sentence. Unfortunately, he didn't exercise that power. He could have overturned the election.
I like the exclamation point.
He always uses exclamation points.
So here's what I say to everybody. Okay, let's leave the law as is, and let's let Kamala Harris, if Biden loses, just go, you know what? We're not going with it. By the way, I want to ask this.
But lay on that, because John Cryer tweeted that.
Yeah, it was
and
great. It's great.
And
John
it's
Crier's
really like, so what you've just said in this statement is that if you run in 2024 against Biden and Biden loses, Kamala Harris has the right
just go
to flip the election.
You just said.
Sorry.
And she's a black woman.
Yeah, black woman. Yeah, you think she's
People
gonna?
aren't going to like that.
Yeah. Well, that's what I said about. Imagine if Obama. We found emails that in Obama's second election that there was 2 executive draft orders to have the Defense Department take over voting machines so Obama stayed president. Can you imagine what all these rednecks, AR-15 carrying douchebags would have done? They would have attacked the Capitol. Oh, wait, they did that later. They did that when they had the guy in. Oh, right.
The thing that you really see
Yes.
that's so powerful about his messaging, and I don't get it, because when he speaks, I just hear person, woman, man, camera. He's so dumb. The thing that's so powerful about his messaging is when you do take any scenario and put anyone else in that position, like if Obama had done that, if Kamala Harris did that, and it's unimaginable. I just get this feeling like, oh my God, the whole country would explode.
Yep.
But with him, it's just like, that's fine.
Do you know why? Because the 30% of his people, and because I know a lot of Republicans that are hardworking, great people, and I don't think of them as Republicans. And then there's this group of culty Trump people off to the side that are, I mean, as he has said, I love the poorly educated. They're poorly educated. They don't understand. They don't want, and not only do they not understand, or they don't want to know the facts. They don't want to know. They're much more happier to know. Fuck it, man. No, and say what you will. I can lump them into a group, and I'm not, because again, we have Republicans in our family. We have
all of our family.
Yeah, 4, 5, like 8 people.
No, all of our. I mean, try and think of your family.
Yeah, who are smart.
Mine.
Great, studious people, and then you've got these other people that follow Trump that are just these fucking. They're a definite type.
My only family member who, actually, my stepfather, who is a lifelong Republican and Army colonel, 100% agrees with this. He's blown away by what's happened to this country that he almost gave his life to defend. But my only other family that really agrees with us is because he was adopted at birth and raised by a Jewish couple in New York, and he's full blown Democrat. But that's because he wasn't raised with my family. So you got to be raised away from us.
That Republicans are rich and that's not true, man. I mean, that uncle is quite wealthy. It's not a money thing. I think it's I always want to ask him, what are you guys for? Like I get you hate.
Yep.
You
I know what you're against. We all know what you're against. You're against progress.
You hate helping people. Well, I mean, even when it comes to infrastructure, I mean, and what pisses me off about recently with the media is the media's jumping all over Biden, going, he can't get this passed. He can't get voting rights passed. And I'm like, 50 Republicans voted against voting rights.
I love when all of them say, they try to block it, and then they say, oh, you can't get it passed. You're blocking it.
You're both a little fired up today. You're a little fiery. This episode brought to you by...
Truff.
Oh, yay.
Truff hot sauce.
Oh, man.
That's what we're going to do. I do the setup and you have to guess what I'm segueing into. Truff hot sauce. I'm
You're fired up too.
Pretty obsessed with it now.
Good. Not as much as us, but yes.
You guys you put it in everything, which I think is excessive.
We just eat it straight. Like
Yeah,
just
I
a
have
bowl of truff.
That's what I mean. It's a bit much. But we kind of have this routine on Monday night. We order from Hugo's and he picks it up, and I always make his side dish fries because I don't order fries. And then we both sit there and pound fries together.
Yeah.
And then you just
I said this to him, there is nothing like truff on a French fry. There's nothing like it. I love the white truffle the best. They've got the new, so they had the white truffle, the black truffle, and the hotter. They now have white truffle hotter.
Yeah. Because that's what it needed. As my nose is running, it's such. First of all, it's so good. What do we just had something recently. It was I put it on last night.
We
the stuff you made last night.
got HelloFresh this week, and on the first night it was burgers. It was a Swiss burger.
That's what it was.
And with sautéed onions, and I just right away put truff on your plate.
So I had the burger, and I'm like dip, and every people. I'm telling you, look, we have such good ads. The products we promote on this show, we don't do it for the money. She does. I say we can't. If we don't use it, we're not doing it. Truff, and ask him, is the best hot sauce I've ever had. It elevates everything we've ever, everything we put it on. It normal food, boom.
It's not like any other hot sauce.
No.
Well, it's not like anything I've ever had. And their truffle oil is awesome. If you need a quick dinner idea, Costco ravioli or anywhere probably, boil it and then toss it in the pot with truffle oil and some crushed red pepper flakes and some fresh grated Parmesan, salt and pepper ground, man. But anyway, all of their products are awesome. And so in his stocking, I got him the little miniature white truffle bottles. You can now get a pack of them lined up like that. And so he travels with those, and then they have a little box where you can get like tear off black truffle packets.
Ketchup packets.
Black truffle,
they're truff.
And so this week we were in Seattle and we were eating Whole Foods food, and I go, you have truff, and you went, do I? It's like, so truff hot sauce sits in the middle of our table in every hotel room. It's pretty
We travel with it. I've forgotten my toothbrush. I have not forgotten my truff. I can always buy a new toothbrush.
Yes.
It works both ways. I mean, you can put it on your teeth.
No.
Gingivitis gone.
No, that is not. It's not.
Medical advice.
It's always on one of Oprah's favorite things too. You got to try it. It's next level. Apple
packaging,
everything.
Just tell them they get
it. Get 15% off site-wide plus free shipping with promo code Titus at truff.com. That's 15% off everything at Truff, TRUFF as in fire.com. Promo code Titus. That's everything on the website.
So back to the Supreme Court.
Yep.
So we've never had a black woman on. I really do understand that he was saying that I'm going to nominate a black woman. We've never had it. What I don't understand is if the Republicans have done that, they've said, Reagan said I was going to nominate a woman. Bush said I'm going to put another black man. I put Clarence Thomas on. It's funny to me how the hypocrisy, the constant hypocrisy and disingenuousness of the Republican Party, and I'm not talking about Republicans, I'm talking about the current Republican Party that's currently running things. They don't have a plan. They don't have an idea. They don't have a possibility for the future of the country. It's just, look at those fucking guys. We don't want that.
It's self-preservation.
Yeah, but it's, it's weird is like, as Ray was pointing out when she had that lunch with the Hungarian, I think there's a light, and Nancy Pelosi is just as guilty. And I'll say this because Nancy Pelosi, she's 81. She's running again. Hey.
She's 81? Wow.
81. Stop running for Congress. You've been there forever.
Yeah. Time to go.
Can we get some more John Ossoffs in there? Let's get some people that have a future. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And she kept saying, don't you have grandkids?
Go be with your, I'm sure, aren't your kids never saw you. Your grandkids are now like, where's grandma?
So I would say, so if at 81, nobody wants.
And that includes Lindsey Graham, Mitch McConnell,
everybody,
Dianne Feinstein.
Yep. Oh my God.
Who's a old man? Shaky shake.
Grassley.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm not even being ageist because I think Nancy Pelosi, for an 81-year-old, she's pretty damn sharp. But at one point, here's how you have to imagine.
John Ossoff, to be clear, is the only congressperson that is
under 40.
Yeah. Only senator that's sub 40.
But let me ask you something. I've met a lot of, run into older people, 81. I don't want them running the country anymore. And she's fine, but we need some people with some energy that are thinking of the future. Because currently, right now, they were saying like 60 or 70% of Congress is over 60. Mm-hmm. What the fuck?
Oh, wow.
So here, imagine this. Imagine how much power is available. Imagine how they live. You know, they get to make their own health care. We don't get it. They won't give the country health care, but they vote on their own health care. And guess who pays for their health care? We do.
Their own stock trading rules.
Their own stock trading rules. They can insider trade all day long. Nancy Pelosi, whose husband is a fucking investment banker, came out and said, I think all the staff members should be able to buy stock too.
Yeah, it's like,
It's like, bro. And John Ossoff is the only one who's come out and introduced a bill that said Congress should not be able to buy stocks anymore.
I love Warnock too. I mean, I could just listen to his speeches all day long. He gives speeches like people used to give speeches, really impassioned, that move you and make you think about things. It's not like Susan Collins. I can't take it.
Susan Collins.
He's learned his lesson.
Listen, I don't care about Susan Collins' voice if she was a decent legislator. She's not. She's the most horrible person. She flips. She's even worse than. Here's why Susan Collins is worse than Ted Cruz. When Ted Cruz comes out, you know Ted Cruz is going to be a douchebag. You don't even quite, he's going to be anti this, anti anything that the Democrats want. He's going to be anti. You get it. Yeah. Susan Collins plays both sides all the time. She's like, well, I think he's learned his lesson. Boom. Then Trump starts shooting puppies in the face. Well, he's like, yeah, you can't do it. He won't do it again. Then he shoots more puppies in the face. And she's like, well, I don't understand. And then she still votes with him. She's a liar. She's a flip flopper.
Flip flopper. Something that we touched on that I wanted to, because we haven't talked about this, is that Trump in one of his rallies said that he would give the people from January 6th, because they're being treated so unfairly, that he would consider giving them pardons. Understanding that a lot of the people that have been convicted, it's because they pled guilty to crimes against, and he's saying, if you elect me again, I'll give you pardons. Do you know how insane that is?
It's obstruction of justice is what it is. Because what he's saying is...
Law and order.
What he's saying is that you committed a crime, and he's also telling anybody else who is going to go into the streets if Biden arrests him, that don't worry about it. We'll take it over, and then we'll pardon you. It's weird because it's always the dumb guys, man. I watch a video of Mussolini and I think Mussolini was kind of a dumb guy. Hitler was kind of a dumb guy.
Yep.
It's never, you know why? Because people with brains seem to analyze the world a little better and have self-doubt.
This is the guy who took out a full-page ad about the Central Park Five.
And then it was proven they were all innocent, and he stood by it. He stood by it. He was like, I still think they should be in jail. Holy shit. For what reason? Exactly. They were proven innocent. Yeah. So I'm to the point now where it discouraged me that in the midst of, and what an asshole, dude, you're under investigation for seditious conspiracy and treason, and you had a rally?
Multiple investigations in states and federal, and
that's his MO,
he's out flaunting it.
If he gets accused of something, he just comes back louder with a whole nother, with a rally. He comes back with a rally.
What he does is he normalizes it. So he says things over and over and over, and then everybody gets used to hearing it.
Goebbels.
And these dumb news stations cover it ad nauseum, including MSNBC and CNN. And so you hear it so often, you're like, oh yeah, that's what he does.
A lie told long enough becomes the truth.
And what is up? He always looks so dried out. I think it's because he drinks so much soda and stuff. He looks like his skin is flaky and his hair is dry and wispy.
I wonder what he could use.
This episode brought to you by
Butcher Box.
Liquid IV.
Why would he look dried out and need meat?
You put like a steak on your eye. To kind of...
He looked dried out and need meat.
Who's it brought to you by?
Liquid IV.
Fitbod.
No, stop.
You're an idiot. Liquid IV, one of our favorite companies. I took Liquid IV on the road with me. I take it everywhere.
Yeah,
I keep it in my suitcase.
Next to our truck factory. We have one of my little pieces of luggage has a little compartment in the top, and we call it the pantry.
We call it the pantry.
And there's like bars in there, and there's
IV,
Truff, and there's Liquid IV.
Athletic Greens packets.
Yeah, all our stuff that we use.
Liquid IV is... I've been using it a lot since we got back from Seattle because it's so dry there. It's so dry here too, but I've been noticing it more lately. Maybe the weather, I don't know. I am super happy to announce, and I know it's because of me. I know that they heard my plea. They brought yellow cherry back as a regular flavor.
Yeah, but pear is just a bastard stepchild lost.
Thank you so much.
It's weird. Like
yellow cherry.
Like I have to go to like a vintage store to buy pear packets.
It's
so
cherry flavor. Oh man. So my new drink I have every day is I make a liquid IV in one of those big metal Starbucks cups. And so I do liquid IV, water, ice to the top, and then I add a sparkling water. Man. And it's like you're having a drink, but you're not drinking. Because I did a sober January. Yeah.
But if you were drinking, it would also help that too. I know from experience.
The funny thing is everybody I would tell that drink to, like my sister, my brother, every single person goes, and vodka. And I go, no, I'm just having... Wait, what? You're not put. I go, yeah, no, I'm not drinking this month. And so
it's really bad. You know, you drink too much when people go, wait, you're not drinking?
I know. What happens? Are you okay? Anyway, yellow cherry. You guys got to try that flavor. It's so good. And a great time to use the immunity one, the tangerine one, because it's got Wellmune and zinc and everything in it that you need. All of them have B3, B5, B6, B12, and vitamin C. You need to try these. It makes a big difference.
Here's why you should try Liquid IV. It does help. Like I'll have headaches sometimes in the morning. Like when I go to sleep, you know, I think you dry out. It's 8 hours with no liquid. I always take when we go to sleep, and man, I sleep better. My head doesn't hurt. If I am drinking, if I have 2 or 3 glasses of wine, I will take one, and I don't have any kind of hangover in the morning at all. I love this stuff. It's great.
You know what's insane? I could read it, but just I don't. The girl Amber that does massages, she was having a really bad headache, migraines and stuff like that, and so I texted her and I said, "Oh no, I gave her some." She was at our house, and I gave her 4 packets and said, "Just try one and see if it helps your headache." And I could tell she was like, "But she's into holistic stuff." I said, "Just trust me." She texted me a little while later and said, "I just went and bought 4 bags at Costco." She said, "That is insane."
Wow.
Because she was taking migraine medication, and she said I instantly felt better.
What's in it?
So grab Liquid IV in bulk nationwide at Costco like she did, or you can get 25% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code Titus at checkout. That's 25% off anything you order on the site when you use promo code Titus at liquidiv.com. Experience better hydration today at liquidiv.com, promo code Titus. Yeah, it was crazy. It was like a Benny Hinn tent revival when she texted me back. I know you guys aren't from the South, so you don't know what that is. But that's Benny Hinn. It's the tent revival where people come up on crutches and he hits them on the forehead,
club thing?
And they drop the crutches and they can walk.
He actually lost his ministry because he embezzled like $32 million.
Sure, he did. They all did, right?
Anybody who's smacking you in the forehead saying you're healed, pretty much going
doing
to jail
some tax
pretty
fraud
soon.
or whatever.
Exactly. Tax fraud follows that.
Some grifting going on.
But she was blown away by what I did. Try it.
If you can at this point in America believe or understand that we have a racism problem, pretty much it's systemic. It's a systemic NFL. NFL. Did we talk about this already? We have 1 black coach, and the players are 70% black.
That's amazing.
We've never had a black woman on the Supreme Court. We've only had 2 black guys in almost 250 years.
Yeah, and one of them is a super conservative.
And one of them is such a conservative. Married a white woman who actually paid for buses to
bring the the whitest
to bring Nazis to the Capitol. Like that's a conservative black man. He married a white woman who brought Nazis to the Capitol. And he's still a Supreme Court justice. And it's funny because in a situation where here's how Trump plays it, and here's why the Democrats bother me a lot. And I last night I kind of, if you go to my Twitter at Titus Nation, I did a very long Twitter thread about it. The Democrats don't have the balls like Trump has, and when I say balls, I don't mean that the Democrats don't stand up for things, and I don't mean that they don't want it better in America. I believe the Democrats in their hearts want more for America. They want to make sure children are taken care of, people have a living wage. That's why I'm a Democrat. Now they believe in the American dream, or what we were told it was. The Republicans, on the other hand, seem to want money and power. They don't have a plan, to the point where we had infrastructure week every week of the Trump administration, and the health care plan will be out in 2 weeks. Within less
every
than a year,
2 weeks, that was
yes, every 2 weeks.
Yes.
Within the year, Biden. Oh, I always call him O'Biden. He's O'Biden. You can't call him anything but O'Biden. Infrastructure passed. Tried to get a voting rights bill passed. Tried to bring back better. Got the vaccines. We are 64% vaccinated now. Now people are denying that. That's on them. But there was parking garages around this country within a month of him being president that we were all getting vaccinated. So the dude gets off his ass and does it. I don't like that they're all blaming him. So the Republicans blame him. The media blames him. And the Democrats don't have the balls to go, hey, this guy got all this done. What about the 50 Republicans that have done nothing? What about the 200 or whatever it is, 179 in the House that have done nothing, that have voted against everything we wanted?
Yep.
And if you know the history of it, every time a Democrat is president or Democratic Congress, the economy does better every time, all the way back to Eisenhower. And what bothers me is that I don't even know what these people who vote for Trump are voting for. Do they know? Are they?
Why is that never taken into account ever?
The weirdest thing is how great they were at looking the other way and excusing everything he did.
Yeah.
But how absolutely critical and brutal they are, Democrats and Republicans, about Biden.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The media is let me get to that point I want to make, is that the media keeps going after him, and the Democrats don't. And by the way, to their own fault, the media is like this. When they go after the Republicans come back so hard, it's crazy to watch. And I'm not just talking Republican politicians they have guests on. I'm talking the entire Republican Party comes back on them hard. So what I think that even the media, can I call it? The media is pussies, except for, I have to say, for Jim Acosta. Jim Acosta's like, he flat out calls Fox the bullshit factory on television. Flat out goes, here's what's new at the bullshit factory. And you're like, okay, I like this guy.
Nicole Wallace, too. She's the one that said chicken shit first.
But now they're doing it again, though. Now they're going, and the Democrats, and listen, I like Yorkies, the media will keep doing what they're allowed to do as long as it works. But if the Democrats start coming back hard, they've got to arrest these people. You've got to arrest the people that were involved. But I think, so did you know that Congress has qualified immunity too? Did you know this? So Congress has qualified immunity like cops do. So right now, we know Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and all these people, and Hawley, Ted Cruz, Mo Brooks, Louis Gohmert, all supported the insurrection. They spoke at it. They were there. They were all texting back and forth. Kevin McCarthy, and yet they're not arrested. They were part of it. Lauren Boebert was actually tweeting out 1776 on the day of the insurrection. That's like, stop doing it. She was like, 1776, which is the rebellion that took over the country and fought the British. What the fuck?
I didn't know they had that.
And yet they're doing nothing. And I've lost faith in the Democratic Party. I really have. And I'm still a Democrat, but I've lost faith in them.
You've lost faith in all of it, in the system in general.
Yeah, well, yeah, true. That's valid. Thanks for clearing it up.
Don't have a segue for that. Wow. This episode also brought to you by Athletic Greens. This product I love, and I talked too long about it last week.
In the apocalypse, I will take Athletic Greens and make it
We take it
it's awesome.
Every day.
Yep.
And
every day,
literally every morning, on an empty stomach. I personally was looking to have better gut health because I was having a real issue with that, like just digestion and stuff.
And
with
farting
travel.
like a banshee.
No, I was not.
I'm kidding.
I wish
she wasn't, but I knew that'd be funny.
That's not my problem. Energy, like I've been working out every day, and so I wanted more energy, especially like more. A stronger immune system with everything that's going on right now. And I don't like taking a ton of vitamins, pills, things like that. I take a couple vitamins and that's it. I've been taking it about a month now, and it tastes good. And it was the weirdest thing, like, because I do love this product, I don't know how I get into conversations about products with people, but we were in Seattle, Tacoma this past weekend, and Andrew Rivers opened two of the nights for us, and Andrew is like family.
Yep.
And you were on stage, and somehow we started talking about Athletic Greens. And Andrew, who is an on the road all the time comic, said he's been taking it for 4 years. I didn't even know it had been out that long. And I said, "You've been taking Athletic Greens?" He goes, "Oh yeah." He said, "And I never quit traveling during the pandemic." He said, I couldn't afford not to. He said, "I just went to really red states where they never shut down." And he said, "Every single person I know has gotten sick. And many times I would be with people that would test positive." And he said, I've never, he swears it's because of this. I don't know if that's true, but he said my immune system. By the way,
this is not based on any medical fact.
No,
it's
but
just some
this
dude
is
we
his
know.
belief. Yeah. He said that his immune system is so good that he travels all the time. He said, "I haven't been sick in 4 years."
Can I point this out too? Since we've started taking this, so you went through a thing where you were like, you kept saying, "I'm tired. I can't get to the gym. I don't want to work out. My energy's horrible." Since I just got this as you were talking. Since we started doing this, you've worked out every day. You got something from Peloton because you haven't missed a day.
I'm on a Peloton streak because I legitimately have not missed one day. And they're sending me a t-shirt for free. So when you take this powder, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens. So, and it's all in one little drink. And I add the D3 dropper, which is huge right now too.
So when I want to point out, how do they get it? Tell how they get it.
So
Athletic
to
Greens.
make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune supporting vitamin D, which is that stuff, the dropper that I use, and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/Titus. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/Titus to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. And tweet Andrew J. Rivers and ask him about Athletic Greens. He's all about it.
I have to say that although it's been a commitment to getting good products, when we do ads now, I'm happy that we do. Like I have no issues gotta sell this piece.
It's helped us find things that have made a difference in our lives.
When you're going through the ads, I'm like, oh, we use that. Guys, thank you for listening to the Titus Podcast and watching today. Before we go any further, I would like to say if you want to follow us, follow me at Titus Nation. You can follow her at
Ray Bradley
or
The Highlander, HYLINDER.
You go to Christopher Titus TV to get all our videos, podcasts, blah, blah, blah. Or go to ChristopherTitus.com if you want t-shirts, merch, and stuff we whore so we can keep this place going. And I wanted to say that, on Twitter, at Titus Nation, and Instagram, at Titus Nation. I did say that already? Oh, okay. Well, edit that. Or just leave it to show how stupid
at
I really
Titus
am.
Nation, at Titus Nation, at Titus Nation.
I'm just going to put at the Highlander wherever anybody says anything.
At the
Just put
Highlander.
Sandwich.
So, here's me. Your hand, I put it on at the Highlander. But now, before we go any further, I would like to go to the Highlanders' fun facts.
Oh.
Fun fact of the week. Did you guys know? You probably didn't because this is a fun fact.
It's my favorite thing that you can do. All right, everybody. All right, welcome to the morning show.
On this episode of previously on
I have one.
the first vacuum cleaner that was invented was drawn by a horse. It was so huge that it was like a
Are you making
marvelous.
This up?
Nope. They used to pull up to people's houses,
And then take a long tube.
and run it through their window, and all the neighbors would come out and just marvel at the garbage that was flying out of the. If you imagine, like back then.
You're making this up.
Nope. This is a fun fact.
Look, you have a computer. Look at first
there you
vacuum
go.
cleaner.
Google
Let's
it.
back this up. Google
It's
it.
like
Google
it was like as big as a house.
By the way, that's become like a fuck you now. Google it.
Yeah.
That's the new insult.
Asthmatic American inventor James Spangler sold his idea for an electric broomstick-like cleaner with cloth filter and dust collection bag attached to the long handle to William Hoover in 1908. His invention proved to be arguably the first truly practicable domestic vacuum cleaner.
Practicable? Is it big? On a truck?
I don't see that. Or is this the Whirlwind? Are you talking about the Whirlwind?
Here's a picture.
I don't know what the brand
Well,
was.
the picture shows a vacuum cleaner. I did.
James Jimothy Limited,
Senior the third. Yeah.
who sold snake oil out of the back of the truck.
Okay. Here we go. I found yours buried down here. In 1901, Hubert Cecil Booth, he's probably...
There you go.
He's the head of the Oath Keepers. Invented a large vacuum cleaner known as the Puffing Billy. The Puffing Billy was first powered by an oil engine and later by an electric motor, but Booth never achieved much success with his large machine, which required a horse-drawn carriage for transport.
Boom, ladies and gentlemen.
So the vacuum wasn't run by a horse. It was just how he had to get it from house to house.
You know what's fucked up is that
you don't know.
We had to fact check your fun fact.
Yeah.
And boom.
And you're right. You're right.
All right.
But then again, we're going to give you a little more leeway next week then. All right. Guys, thanks for watching and listening to the Titus Podcast. Again, Christopher Titus TV and ChristopherTitus.com. You can hear us all over any platforms, podcasts where podcasts are, and people spew dumb shit like us. All right. Do you have anything to say?
I don't. Fort Wayne. Hopefully, if the weather allows, we'll be there.
We are about to fly
this weekend. Friday, Saturday,
Is
Sunday.
Snowstorm there?
We are
like a 2,000-mile wide. Can't
Miss
believe
California.
Yes.
The jet stream goes like, let's dry California out all the way. It's not burning enough, so we want to make sure it's entirely burnt down. And then so the jet stream is screwing us too. All right, guys. So we're gonna be Fort Wayne this weekend. Next weekend is where? Oh, we're off. And then we go to...
And then we have Richmond and on the 17th, Virginia Beach on the 18th and 19th.
Yes. And so come to those shows, guys. We are triple vaxxed and we both had it. So, pretty good. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. For myself, the lovely Bombshell Ray, and the Highlander. Later.
Peace out.
There could be only one.
Yes. I like the fun fact. It's good.